I'm not crazy, Malin. I'm not crazy, Malin. I've just been in a very bad mood for 40 years. 40 years.
Carpe diem. Carpe diem.
Inside here, you get an insight and you know something, but you don't want to say it out loud because you're kind of afraid that it's not going to be really true and it'll spoil the whole thing for you, But when somebody makes you say it, then, and it's true, then it just makes it more beautiful of a thing.
everyone. Good evening. It is time for the CGL Overwatch GOATS Tournament Day 2 for the NAPCC. I am Joker's Ransom. He is Chef Billy, and we're so happy. Well, maybe not Billy, because Billy doesn't really like GOATS, but he's here, and he's ready to cast these games.
I do not like GOATS, and that's because I got forced onto Rhine every single time that we had to bloody well play this when I was in the CGL as a player. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of GOATS, but I love watching it. Casting it can get a little bit pedantic, but I like to look and see, we're doing PC here. I think that's the bigger thing, is that it's not going to be as slow as what we saw on console. So we've got right out the gate a pretty meaningful matchup here with Shikigami going up against Canadian team. And being an expat Canadian, I could not be happier that I got this as my first game of the tournament. But we'll take a look at Shikigami's lineup. Now, Vintage Solo, Faded, Mikon, and Ross coming up here. And the six-man I can't see because it's down below my line of vision. But we've got contenders players. We've got collegiate players here in Mikon and Faded especially. So, when we talk about Shikigami, of course, we've got the contenders bend. We've got the Overwatch Collegiate Championship bend to it as well. So lots of star power on this Shikigami team. Looking really for them to come out and kind of set the pace here. But when we take a look at the Canadian team, there might be names that you don't necessarily realize. But Dayfly is actually Snowl, or Snowl, as I put it, as a snow owl. Has competed with Shikigami and also playing for Access back in summer B-sides of 2022. Meester playing for the University of Waterloo in the Overwatch Collegiate Championship, and also Bochi, another big player on this side. So, I mean, there's lots of Canadian love here for the Canadian team, lots of access there for them. So as we go between these two teams, we always got to talk about what's actually allowed here. So you have to have a Diva. You got to have a Zarya. You got to have Lucio and Brig. The rest around that can be fluid. You can either have a Rhine or a Winston as your main tank, and then you can vacillate between the Zen, the Moira, and the Ana as your third healer. So it depends on how you want to sustain. And if you want to use Zen as, a death threat more than a healer. So it's going to come down to comfort for these teams. It's going to come down to pacing, and always what we have always talked about with GOATS is order of operations. So we will see how good their trigonometry for GOATS is as we head into our first map.
Yeah, our first map is going to be Busan. But before we talk about that, I want to have a huge shout out. One of the players, Billy, Vintage, on the side of Shikigami, is having a birthday today. So a huge happy birthday to them. Hopefully they get some wins for said birthday. But we're headed into Busan here, and I'm always excited to see Busan. It is one of those maps that can be, it is probably one of the better maps in the game, and I'm excited to see how it plays in correlation to GOATS. It's been so long since I've seen it, and I'm excited to see it yet again. I'm just super excited. Like you said, that trigonometry, those alt combinations that could come out from these two teams, and I'm talking about specifically the self-destruct Graviton Surge combo. That's what I'm looking for. If these teams can get that combination down pat, that's gonna be the team that goes the furthest.
Well, I mean, it depends on if your support ultimates are up, obviously. I mean, we're gonna look at a we'll take a look there as we have a little bit of a technical hiccup. So we will be getting back into that in just a second. And, like you said, it's all about how you work these compositions. Looks like they're both going to run the same comps here with the Rhine as their main tank, and they're both pulling in the Zen. So the Discord Orb, yes, they do want that extra DPS coming out from their squads. And, we've seen Bolting Cake and Snow play together. Also known as Dayfly. So Meester has also played with these teams a little bit throughout some different competitions. So this Canadian team does have some already built-in symmetry, just like Shikigami does.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see Faded on Zarya. I most know them as a main tank player, but they are going to come in here to start things off. The sling's coming through, and it's going to be already come in for Shikigami to start things off in their favor. Ross coming wild. This is Old Brigade. That is going to be a lot of damage coming in from Ross with the Brigida for Shikigami.
I mean, you always think that Zen's going to be the DPS player. It is definitely the Brigitte here for Shikigami as they take first control of the point and those ultimate charges. Well, we actually do have some percentages going on here, so that was a fix since the last time that I saw us practice these maps here, you know, because a lot of work went in from the CGL team to bring this about. Shatter is ready.
Shatter gonna knock down 4, and that's gonna be huge already for Shikigami coming in. Vintage with some vintage Rhyme gameplay to start things off as Shikigami continue their hold at the point.
I mean, this is fantastic. Just one ultimate use there as well. So, I mean, you're going to have the Transcendence coming in the next fight for this Shikigami squad. And Dust is going to be looking to answer right now. They have not gotten anything done on this Reinhardt. My fellow Canadians need to work hard to get themselves back into this fight. Rotation coming around on coast side.
Do is they're gonna come in. There's the Graviton Surge, gonna get them all locked up. The self-destruct now coming in a little bit later, but they do not need it. And it's all the Fire Strike from Vintage going wild yet again. That's a 4-piece for the Reinhardt of Shikigami.
I mean, that's just dirty. And look at this evil stagger. This is just wrong. Worst OW player is staggered out so long. It's going to take them a minute to get their composition back together. As we cross the 50% mark, you're looking at Bochi with this sound barrier. You're going to have to hold it for a bunch of aggression coming in from Shikigami.
You really do. You've got so much coming in here. The self-destruct, the shatter available as well. This is going to be so hard for Canadian team to get into this fight. There they go. There's the rotation with the help of that Lucio Speedboat. There's the Graviton Surge coming in as well. But there's just so many support opportunities coming around and available now. The self-destruct comes through. Can they light them up? No, they cannot. Still looking for these picks. But there's the self-destruct coming in from worst OW player, taking down 1, and that is going to be that, and that's going to be their first capture coming in.
Vintage giving the love out there, and I mean, what a good self-destruct that came in from worst OW player. Waited out the solo self-destruct, and then brought their own into bear on the backside. After all the support ultimates wore off, it was just done at that point.
Really, this is now they have things to go for. They've got to get into this point as they're still waiting for Solo to get through here. As now they look to get into it. Reinhardts are swinging for the fence as the rotation's coming through. The shatter built back up as Ross is down, and thanks to Bochi, the shatter comes through but does not connect to anyone, but still seems like enough damage has been done on the Canadian team to keep the fight in their favor as Dust is swinging for the fences, taking faded out. Spiro goes down. But Dust is in the, not where they wanted to be right there. Now the respawn's coming back from Shikigami might be enough to get this point unlocked as now they come in. The shatter, the rally coming out, the Graviton Surge trying to hold on to a point for the Canadian team, but they've got more to deal with here, and now they've still got some sound barrier gonna come out, the Transcendence, the self-destruct, all the ultimates coming on board, but nothing's coming through from the kills as there's the Graviton Surge again coming in. There's the self-destruct, the pin coming in. Is it gonna be there? Is Dayfly gonna go down? But it's still anyone's point for the shatter connecting to Mikam. They've got to get the follow-up. They've got to take them out and keep a hold of this point as Canadian team continue their hold.
I mean, that was a great turnaround because Solo had that self-destruct on lock. And you take down the highly charged Zarya. This has got to be ultimates being thrown out here from Shikigami. You've got nothing in the tank here, only Dust close on their shatter. We'll see if they can throw something out because now we're at 99%.
Or I thought I heard the DMAC of a Diva. That would have been massive. They're going to come in here. The shadow from Dust does not connect to anyone as they take out Pulsing Cake. That's so much damage now gone. The shatter in response, lining up Dayfly, but they still need to find more, and they do. Shikigami at the 11th hour coming in clutch. Team wiping Canadian team and take back the point.
I don't know if Bochi has time to get back. We're at 94% and counting.
No.
Finish with a big pick on the Pulsing Cake. That Transcendence is offline.
Yeah, and that's going to be that. Meester goes down as well before it ends up as Shikigami take round number 1 of Busan.
Well, I mean, it was a great first capture from Shikigami, right, Joshua? And then we saw the turn on the back of a wonderful Graviton Surge that actually locked every member of this Shikigami team up in the air as they approached from the coast. And just got the better of the ultimate rotation. So, I mean, the trigonometry between these two teams, yeah, they're definitely remembering how to play GOATs. And, you know, we're seeing a lot of reversions back to what we had in Overwatch 1, the knockback potential from these shatters, from these pins. The Reinhardt does go flying a lot more because the knockback has been taken away here. So you're back to, you know, if you get slammed or if you get charged away, you're going flying if you're Reinhardt.
Yeah, it's not where you want to be. You cannot be caught out if you are that Reinhardt in this composition. It's so much depends on you here, staying alive, getting that frontline damage, keeping things alive for the rest of your team. This Dust is going to go down early on, and now this side of Canadian team are going to have to regroup. They've already lost Dayfly as well. They are going to find Spiro out, but again, it's just not enough for them. And without that Reinhardt, you can't really expect to win that fight.
I mean, amp speed's so important, especially in these early engagements. Look at Mikan, almost has the sound barrier online already. They'd have it for this next fight. They've got both the rally and the sound barrier into this next fight. This is exactly what they did on Mecha Base. So now we need to look to see how will we engage here. Self-destruct, though, is available to worst OW player first.
Yeah. Huge thing, like you're talking about those charges. That's a huge thing to combo with the self-destruct. If they can get it, the Shadow's gonna come out from Vintage, not gonna connect to anyone. The self-destruct coming in with the Graviton Surge. Oh, it's gonna go down. So many ultimates coming on board, but still nothing to claim with it. Now the self-destruct out from them. The trade's coming through, but it still looks like Shikigami are gonna come out on top thanks to the transcendence from Spiro in the end, holding on strong.
I mean, we saw Bolton Cake let loose with their transcendence first. Now, it's always the second ultimate that seems to win. Looking for an early pin. There goes Vintage into the back line. I mean, doesn't get anything for their worries, but they do get the D-back on Solo.
Yeah, that's huge. Losing Solo, but the Shatter almost connecting a lot of players. Meester's gonna go down the charge into the backline, gonna just spell the end for Dust. They do lose Vintage, but the Graviton Surges are coming out from both of these two squads. The follow-up is there. Dayfly is gone. The mech of worst OW player as well is Shikigami are looking a lot stronger on the second point.
I mean, Faded took a little page out of Dayfly's book and put them up in the air, and you can't do anything when you're up there because you're expecting to be on the ground. Nah, you're going to be suspended like a marionette, and they just took their swings like a pinata.
They really did. As the rotation's coming out, it's getting down to the nitty-gritty. They've got to find a win here and now if they want to have any chance of taking this round of Busan. As they find one, Mikan goes down early on, but it's still just so much damage coming out from the Shikigami roster. The Transcendence, the self-destruct coming through, but nothing coming in for them in the end. It looks all but over for Canadian team as Shikigami continue to find these picks. The Transcendence keeping them up and healthy, as no one can touch the point as Shikigami take map number 1.
Well, what we learned there is close quarter battles seem to be kind of neutral for both these teams. And Ross, as the Brigitte here for Shikigami, had the best of it. Had the best of this first engagement. I mean, listen, swinging for the fences, got so much done in that first fight. That was exactly what we wanted to see out of them. But when we saw more space available, Joshua, that's where we saw Shikigami really be able to take control of this map. So for these two teams, I think that if we're looking at an open area, I think Shikigami has a little bit more as far as rotation and going in as a full 6. Also, the early neutral fights, the supports are getting so much done. I mean, I highlighted it out, but I mean, Mikan had a sound barrier after the very first engagement. And that is absolutely disgusting. So they're going to have to really, if you're a Canadian team right now, l'équipe canadienne, if you need to go in there, you're going to be looking for Mikan. You're going to be looking for Ross. The Brigitte and Lucio combo, just too OP. Please nerf right away.
we can't do any nerfing just yet here, Billy, as we're still playing this out. As we do have the map pick to come in, and if you didn't even look at it, Billy, where do you think we would be going other than? I mean, come on, you were going to Kings Row, yeah. I mean,
why wouldn't you go to Kings Row? I mean, it's the quintessential Overwatch map. This is where some of the biggest battles, other than Rialto, in my mind, for World Cup, for Overwatch League, for Grand Finals. I mean, if you think about a quintessential GOATS map, this is it. And because the streets are so narrow, because you have such limited space to work in, I actually like this pick from Canadian team. They want to be up close. They want to be in the face of Shikigami. And Shikigami right now, they're going to have a hard time working in these close-quartered confines of the streets of London. So if they play like they did on Mecha Base, this is going to be a very close map, Joshua.
I definitely have to agree with you there. And while we're waiting to see if Shikigami wants to attack or defend, I want to see what is your like highlight of your GOATS highlight. Like for me, I believe it was like the second match of the season for the NYXL back in season 2. It was that huge play coming in, the shatter, the graviton surge, the self-destruct all in a row, the 5-piece coming in from that's just what screams GOATS for me. What about you, Billy?
I think that Team Great Britain versus China 2017 World Cup on Rialto second point. Fusions lands a huge shatter, completely catches the Chinese team off of their guard, and then the graviton surge that followed up from behind it. And if you ask me who it was, I can't remember, just because I'm getting old and my brain doesn't work the same as it used to. But the graviton surge that came in from behind it, and they got a team wipe off of it and completely shocked the Chinese team. And they get around L'Angolo della Morte, the corner of death. So, I mean, looking at that, that's my GOATS moment. I remember just leaping out of my chair when I was watching that. I could not believe the coordination and how stealthy they had gotten it done. They didn't expect Fusions to have the shatter so readily available. And, I mean, that was a quintessential GOATS map for me, my friend.
Let me think here. As I'm looking at that roster with Fusions, Smex was, I believe, the Diva player. So it would have been either KSP or Kib.
It may have been Kib, because Kib and Fusions played well together. KYB used to be was one of those British Hurricane members from back in the days of old, and had a disgusting Zarya. I would put it up there with DeFran's Zarya, to be quite honest. They both. And I remember during the World Cup, they used to talk smack to each other because who had the best Zarya. So, I mean, right now, Faded versus Dayfly, pretty equal. And I think right now for Shikigami, they've got to get aggressive. They got to get Dayfly out of this equation.
Yeah, they definitely do, but Russ is the one who's going to be super low at the moment. They are focusing down onto those supports, like you were talking about, Billy. Dust has found Mikan early on in this fight, and now that speed boost that's so important to these GOATS compositions is now gone, along with that Discord orb. This should be a quick cap for Canadian team here. Or sorry, they're on defense, so they're going to hold on to defense.
I mean, great. I mean, that's perfect opening here for this Canadian team. They've already got their first sound barrier online, and with the shatter ready to follow. I mean, you can shatter and hope that it doesn't block or get blocked, and try to burst it on the back of that. But Mikan now has theirs online. There's an early graviton surge.
Coming in, the Transcendence is all there as well to keep them up and healthy. But now they have to wait into this. Is the self-destruct coming in? The charge going to come through, but it's not going to connect to the Reinhardt, which they were hoping for. But Ross still goes down. And in the end, it looks like Shikigami will have to regroup and wait for things to come through, especially losing Faded and Vintage.
I mean, the fact that Dust takes Vintage for a little bit of a ride allows the self-destruct to go through there. And Worso W is holding on to this self-destruct, or will be coming up on the self-destruct very shortly. Yeah, Tayfly. Looking for the early graviton surge.
They get the early grab and can connect onto Ross. Just take out that crucial piece that's so much damage. Now Gone and buys them more time.
I mean, the right clicks right now for Dayfly, I think, are what's keeping them in pace with Faded. Faded's going to have their own Graviton Surge coming up here very shortly. So I want to see, you know, how do they work? Does Worst OW have a hunger problem right now?
As they're going to come in, Solo comes in, clutch for Shikigami to start things off as they take down Dust. And that might have been the boot from Mekon to set it all up there, Billy.
I mean, Vintage took Dust for a little bit of a ride, got the shoulder charge onto him and took him out of position so the shielding wasn't there. But yeah, I think that Mekon boop actually sets everything up, and the Discord orb was on everybody. Big Shatter comes out from Vintage, and they absolutely get this first point. Now it's all about holding the archway here. Dayfly not even at 50% of Graviton Surge, so really gotta watch for this grab.
The grab gonna come in with the Transcendence and the Sound Barrier used in response to keep them up and healthy. They've come back strong, taking Spiro out and getting rid of the Sound Barrier. But they do lose Bochi as well, but it still seems like Canadian team have the advantage. They've taken Vintage out. Unless something changes drastically for Shikigami, it's gonna be Canadian team holding on for the time being.
I mean, in the interim, we see Dayfly now have their Graviton Surge. There it comes out.
Yeah, as they're gonna come in
Did
here.
it get eaten? It got eaten.
It might
No, it
have
didn't.
been,
Okay.
as they're gonna come in here. There's the grab, but the Shatter locks them all down from Vintage, and that's going to be everything they need. Yet again, Shikigami come alive and take the control yet again.
Ultimate economy right now and ultimate discipline is something that I want to see a little bit better from this Canadian team, because they let loose of not only the Transcendence but also the Sound Barrier from Bochi in the previous engagement. They had it locked up with just the Transcendence. If they would have held on to their Sound Barrier, they would have weathered the Shatter just fine.
So now they're gonna have to come into that quintessential alt duo, the Self-Destruct and the Graviton Surge that's available for Shikigami. And they're gonna come in here. There it goes and out. They're gonna look for this Graviton Surge, waiting for that. And there it comes out. The charge, the Self-Destruct coming through. This is almost gonna be perfect.
Bullet time!
As they come in, there it goes. Solo knocks down 2. And that's going to be that. Worst OW player gets knocked out of mech. As now they continue to force this objective and force back Canadian team.
I mean, can we get this for Overwatch League? Please. I mean, the bullet time, they're perfectly put out there, and it's just a little bit of stressor on our servers because of the reversions that we've had to go through here to make this GOATS tournament happen. We go into this little bit of a slow time, and I mean, it almost seems like it's perfectly framed, almost a cinematic, like the Matrix, and we love to see it. So now we've got that wombo combo ready to go here for Canadian team as they hold 3 minutes on the clock.
And see, they've got to get the cart back into their favor. Look for this respawn, but the Shatter comes out, knocks down a couple. There's the Graviton Surge coming in response, trying to keep things going. The Self-Destruct coming in and not gonna find anyone as the Shatter in response from, I believe that was, oh my goodness, Dust coming in, but they go down in the end. Is it still Shikigami coming out on top of these ultimate fiestas from both of these squads?
I mean, for Pride Month, we've got to say the Eleganza Ultravaganza coming through. And I mean, I tell you what, Vintage landed a 4-piece there with that previous Shatter. That's what gets them the space down. We're at 2:15 and counting here on the clock. Sparrow closest with the support ultimate. They need to get this Transcendence up in a hurry.
Speaking of which, Faded is back to their 3rd Graviton Surge in a row for another fight. This has been incredible stuff coming in for the Zarya. They've got it out. There it comes, the Self-Destruct in the response. Can they get the down? No, they cannot. As that was almost picture perfect. As Vintage now down and out. This is what Canadian team needed here. As now they've got the cart back into their favor.
They're going to have Graviton Surge here to lock everybody up as well. So now it's about this ultimate discipline, right? They burst out the Sound Barrier and the Transcendence again as a combo. And I mean, I think that the Transcendence would have held up Canadian team just fine. So Support ultimates got to be a little bit better held onto here, but Transcendence ready to go for Sparrow with this upcoming. Graviton Surge there, it's out. It's eaten by Solo!
Yeah, the E coming in, but they do lose Spiro in response as worst OW player now coming alive, finding two, forcing back the rest of Shikigami, and that's going to be another hole. Now down to a minute on the attack phase.
I mean, just the fact that OW gets that kill there, despite the grab eat, Faded feeling very good about themselves right now. Dayfly has almost caught up to them because of those kills together. And Spiral once again goes down early in the fight, so now Transcendence not available.
Yeah, that's just gonna buy them a lot more time. The respawn's coming through, and I believe the respawn timer was also brought back to, I don't know if it is, but it definitely seemed like the respawn timers are back to old, as now they have to come into this fight. They've almost taken worst OW player out of mech, and that would have been huge. The Graviton Surge coming in, all the ults on the board. Can they land the shot in this? But no. They, self-destruct does not find anyone. The Shatter coming in, though, from Vintage. Knocks down Meester, takes them out. And that should be enough, as now the Transcendence coming alive for the side of Shikigami. And this should be, yet again, Shikigami's fight, as now they've got this in the bag. The overtime bar is now there, though. And worst OW player has the self-destruct.
Yep, self-destruct, and this Graviton Surge will come up fast from Dayfly with how, I mean, just historically here through this series, been getting them up very fast. They need to take Faded down. Faded is glowing like a Christmas tree.
Yeah, Faded has just been on another level here, and they've continued to find these picks for Shikigami, as now they're so close with Spiro going down. That Discord orb no longer available, as the grab is out, but everyone's falling from Canadian team, and in the end, there's the Graviton Surge. Dayfly's locked up, and that's gonna be all. Not yet, not all 3 points just yet. Self-destruct taking dust out. Mikan gets the last pick. And there it is, all 3 points for Shikigami.
Okay, I see you, Shikigami. That was a very eventful point 3 there. They do get in with no time in the bank, so there's a little bit of a window of opportunity here for Canadian team. If they can bring a little bit more support ultimate discipline into this next round, their attack phase, I think they hold themselves in better stead. I think Bochi and Bolting Cake need to be on different pages here as far as when to let loose with their support ultimates, because a couple of times they overinvest and it ends up biting them in the rear end on the back of the next fight. So we'll see. If they can clean that up, it's going to be a lot closer for Shikigami here. And, you know, we haven't seen any changes here. We haven't seen the Winston come out. We haven't seen, let's say, a Moira or an Ana come out here. I think that an Ana here, if you're not a GOATS purist, like I am not a GOATS purist, I think bringing the Ana out here and you know, getting an early fight win on the back of a anti could be the way to just completely throw off a GOATS rhythm. And I think that's why when you started talking about all these variations to GOATS, it was about how to knock the rhythm out. And that's what we got. So, oh no. Rasa, don't do that, because you will be instantly disqualified if you do that. Wow. Yeah, just, yeah, I think they're having
merry-go-round.
I think they're having fun.
It's a day at the shooting range for lane robots. But now we come in here for. Now they come into this fight. They've got Vintage is already up, by the way, to 30% of their ultimate, which was kind of crazy. Now they are in a tow for their ultimate percentage, but it still was nice to see for a little bit. But they're now coming in as Mikan takes Bochi out already. She goes, they go down. Sorry, as this is now, yeah, this is all just Shikigami in this fight. Dust is in Narnia at the moment, dealing with the main damage dealer of Shikigami, and well, they're gonna pay for it as they go down.
Well, I mean, you lose your disengage. So I mean, at that point, everybody went towards the wins rather than being able to get out in a hurry. And I think that for Shikigami now, that's an early fight win, but Shatter already available to Dust. Let's see if they can get something out before Vintage closes the gap.
Yeah, they've got to get this Shatter down before, well, never mind. As it's already up, the Shatter does come in response. The Transcendence coming through from Bolting Cake. Spiro has not yet used it, but they had it right there. That could have been the perfect time. But now they've got the Sound Barrier and the Transcendence now on the board. The self-destruct coming in. No one's going to fall down to Solo's Diva Bomb, as it looks like Canadian team have the upper hand at the moment. They're going to get the first point on the board, and especially if they lose Spiro here. But a huge Spiro, like you said, keeping alive Spiro. The self-destruct coming in. Vintage is down. That should be about it for Shikigami's defense on point one, as they are going to light them up, take this point, and there it goes. The payload now unlocked.
Oh man, and we remember if there was an early point hold here from Canadian team on their defense, they are surging forward. It's just going to take one person now to move this card ahead, and the fact that they try to invest so heavily and maintain point presence, the respawns are absolutely going to shoot this Shikigami team in the butt. So the Graviton Surge battle will be up. Bolting Cake will have the Transcendence available for it. Look at this. I mean, we're still in the 70s here for the real impactful support ultimates here for Shikigami.
As now they have to come back here. They've got the ultimates to do so. Faded has this Graviton Surge available, and they're going to use it early on coming in, but it's going to be a Canadian team capitalizing on their own as the Shatter comes out, and that's going to connect. Down goes Vintage and Ross. And what we're seeing right now with Canadian team being so up in this part, as Dayfly is just super charged at the moment.
I mean, you're looking for another Graviton Surge game here, and because of the team wipe that just happened, this is going to be where the rubber meets the road. Maester has this rally online. Early self-destruct, though.
As now they're going to come in. The early self-destruct comes through as Solo cannot find anyone. The Sound Barrier coming in from Mikon for the re-engage, but the stun comes through. The Shatter coming out. The self-destruct is there. It takes down Spiro. And that is still going to be that for the side of Canadian team. They continue to do the damage, and they're at a blistering pace right now, Billy.
Yeah, I mean, 4:15 on the clock as they enter the Foundry, and they are looking for exit kills as well. The Flail is going to be the only thing that keeps Ross up there, but now you're looking now at another Graviton Surge. They have actually lapped Faded. Early Graviton Surge wins them this fight.
Yeah. Like as it's, you need to kill the Zarya in these compositions because a high charge Zarya will carry these fights, but Solo comes in clutch yet again for Shikigami, taking that ultimate out of the fray. Vintage is so low, the healing is there, they need to keep them alive, but the Shatter connects to 4. The self-destruct comes through, keeping them all up and healthy. His worst OW goes down already, and it looks like Shikigami come back strong and get the hold that they desperately needed.
Well, I mean, they turned that fight in their favor. That 4-man Shatter, I thought it was 5, but somebody died right before it actually connected with them. Wow, that was a great turn from Shikigami. Still, 3:15 to hold off before we get to the overtime stage. And, well, the ultimates are in Shikigami's favor. Now, how do they portion them out?
Yeah, they've got to come in here. The Graviton Surge again coming in from Dayfly. Solo unfortunately missed that out, but they still find Dust somehow, some way off the top ropes as they still come in clutch, holding on yet again to Shikigami.
Faded, the Christmas tree of the South here, is winning the fight. And they're just being completely bullshit up by their team. Bolting Cake does have Transcendence. Spiro will be able to answer for the other side. Shatter's going to be the next battle that I'm looking at. Judge has to land another fatty here.
They definitely do. As their charge comes in, they've got Spiro in the back, and they're going to come through. The Shatter's going to lay people down. Faded is so low. There's no one to keep them up, and now they come through. That's going to be it. The charge comes in. Ross goes down. Things are looking back on the up and up for Canadian team as they've got this fight coming through. And Dayfly, like you said, the supercharged Zarya coming in.
I mean, this is a great turn for them. Now we're at 2 minutes. They've got the last little stretch here before they complete this map. Self-destruct, will it be available to Solo in this fight? Early grab though.
Comes in, they've got the Transcendence to keep them up. They need to get to the point. They are there, they're buying some time as it is Mekon there, but they've lost Ross already, but they forced out the Transcendence, but it just does not matter. They've already lost 2 players. Vintage specifically is the key one that's gone with the self-destruct coming in. Again, connecting onto the top ropes, not where you wanted it for Solo. That's gonna be all they needed in the end as Canadian team come back and have captured the point with time on the board.
Remember, I told you that Canadian team wants to be up close and in your face. They do not back down from a close quarter brawl, and that's exactly what we saw there. They really did portion out their support ultimates a lot better here in their attack phase. Maybe they caught my helpful hints here from the chef. Teaching them how to cook, as it were. And it's just going to be a minute 23 here to get 1 point for this team. So we might be looking at a tie series here. It is a 1-2 here in our early rounds. So, they're fighting for their tournament life here. They're looking to see if they can keep themselves moving through our bracket here. And I tell you what, on the back of that close quarter brawl, yeah, they're looking very strong. I mean, it's just going to take 1 tick, Joshua, and they bring us to match point. Somebody has to win the next map.
Unless for some reason, obviously we see a tie on Escort, which is possible, but all accounts not going to happen. So this is got to be the map that that they take here, and now it is Canadian team. As now they come through the gates, looking to tie things up 1-1.
Well, it's all going to be about early pick. First point pressure here, getting the Zarya charged, and already 40% and counting here for Dayfly. Already 10% ahead of Baited.
Yeah, they're already gonna come in here looking to get the ultimates up. They've got at least time for another fight. So it's all about building up to these ultimates here as they swing for the fences. Dust is gonna go down though. They've got to get out, or they need to die fast. If they get staggered out, that would be disastrous. They get back to spawn, but they take out Bochi late. They are gonna have a chance for one final fight now.
Yep, they will get another. They'll get 2 fights. It's going to be a strangled last fight, but they will have an opportunity to get themselves online, especially with Sound Barrier coming up here for Bochi. They do have the resources to get through here, but Faded 20% ahead of Dayfly on this Graviton Surge.
Yeah, this is going to be the huge teetering point. Can Faded light them up as Meester goes down? The Graviton Surges come through, and the D-Mech of worst OW player is huge. The Transcendence, the Shatter coming out. As Mekon's is out of the fight. That is huge. The Self-Destruct coming in, and they still are finding picks for Canadian team. That should be that. Vintage and Ross are gone. Now follows Faded. It is just Solo left, and that is going to be a tied series after they've taken Mekon down. As there it goes, tied series 1-1.
Close quarter brawl for Canadian team is the way to go for them. They do enjoy a bit of a brawl, especially in the streets of London as they take Kings Row 4-3. Ross once again gets POTG. And why not? The Brigade is getting so much work done. Yes, we had wombo combos. Yes, we had it all going on, but you just swing for the fences as the Brig in this composition and you get the work done. And that's exactly what happened here. So as we head to our halftime here, you know what? For these teams right now, if you're Shikigami, you do not want to go to a brawl-centric map. You want open spaces. You want to be able to rotate around and take your time in these fights. So, yeah, when we come back from our short little break, we're going to be heading to the streets of Italy. We're going to get, hopefully, some of that World Cup magic from days gone by. But don't go away. We'll be back with you in just a few moments.
All right, everyone, welcome back. It is tied 1-1, and we are headed to Italy. We're headed to Rialto, another crucial GOATS or an iconic GOATS map coming in here for the next map to decide who's heading on in the tournament.
Yeah, I mean, no worries. This is going to be, I think it comes down to first point hold. If you're able to get across the bridge, that's your first order of operations here, is to be able to get across. If you do decide to go with the close hold here, we will take a look at that. And here's confirmation of where we're going. We're going to Italy, and we will see what Shikigami can do. Is they're going to be on the attack first here. Once again, we're not swapping sides, so we'll have the Canadian team defending first. Do you have the moxie to take a close fight here and hold for as long as you can on the far side of the bridge here for the defending team? And for Shikigami, if this is what comes to pass, how do you break this hold? Is it a charge? Because while we are playing on OW1 rules and techniques and all the cooldowns and abilities, Rialto still has a couple of spots that have been changed since OW1, and there's a couple of areas that you cannot charge off of now. So there's those boxes. If you're coming out of attacker spawn on the right hand side, that was an area where you can charge somebody off. Now you've got some crates and boxes there that limits that charge off. So basically left side and maybe a curved spin here or a curved charge from the Reinhardt to put him into the river there would be a way to close it out. Also, putting Diva into the back line and seeing if you can get, early pressure and kind of change the point of focus here for the defenders. So we'll see how this rolls through. But I mean, really, Nikon, Ross, and Sparrow have kept their team in the series. But I think that Dayfly is absolutely keeping pace with the Zarya of Shikigami and Faded. That Zarya battle has been so intriguing for me to watch. Watching, one will be, 20% ahead. And the next time I'm looking up there, the other one has surpassed by 20%. Mm-hmm. So these right clicks have been absolutely stellar from both these two teams. If somebody's going to win here, Joshua, I just don't know who it's going to be, because you've got the combination of open spaces and close, tight quarters. We know how both of those have run for these two teams.
Yeah, we definitely do, and I'm excited to see it. Which Zarya, like you said, which Zarya can get the upper hand in these fights is going to determine it all. And we're about to see who can start off on the right foot as we're about to load into Rialto here.
Well, Rialto is where we like to see. This is just, for me, the iconic GOATS map. I think that Kings Row is a close second for me personally, and everybody can disagree what their favorite GOATS map is, but I think this one for me, just because of the World Cup implications, and now that we have World Cup back this year, we are looking at that. So, man, this has been fantastic. This is where I want to see it go down. I want to see Canadian team really take an aggressive hold here and see, how much time they can whittle off.
It looks like we are gonna getting that swan hold here, and I mean, it's a great. You get. Oh, did they give their position away though?
Of course they did.
Yeah, they gave their. Wait, what are we talking? No, we're not. We were not sponsored by Spotify. Get that Spotify thing out of there. We're not sponsored by them. Don't give them free advertising. But we're going to come in here now. The fight, the swan hold as the Ana swaps. Yes! And Sparrow is there. There it goes. They're going to be able to get them away, though, as Vintage is already out of this fight. As Sparrow is going to have to retreat back to the spawn of the attacking squad as Solo's gone out of map.
I mean, I like the adaptability here from Sparrow. Almost has Nano Online already BT dubs. So if you can use the geometry and the high ground here, that's an early shatter coming out from Dust. Hello?
Yeah, Dust already got the shatter up and almost lapping Vintage already. This swan hold from Canadian team is just doing wonders right now.
this is exactly what I was talking about. And I mean, they're using high ground. They're trying to find every avenue to get out. And I think that a nano Zarya here could spell disaster here for this Canadian team.
As use the grab already, and Vintage is gone. Mikan using that sound mirror to try to stabilize the there goes the Lucio gets the nano boost, but they've already found one. Mister's gonna go down. Another boot coming in. Did they get the pick on to no, they did not get the pick onto the Diva, as it's still gonna hold on to the point for the time being. This is not looking good at all, as there's the Graviton Surge, but they've lost Vintage. That lot of the damage coming from the hammer no longer there, and now they found another pick onto Solo. This spawn hold from Canadian team is just perfect so far.
This is exactly what I wanted to see. I wanted to see them be aggressive. I wanted them to be bold. Their target focus has been perfect so far. Sparrow back over to the Zenyatta, so no worries about the antis anymore, and no early bubbles, more importantly, coming out from Dayfly.
Yeah, they've got to figure it out here and quick. 2 minutes to go. They need to find a pick. It's got to be off the back of the shatter that Vintage has finally built up, but the Graviton Surge from Dayfly is just going to lock them up yet again. And they've already lost Faded, who's just trying to build up to another grab here. There comes the self-destruct out from Worst OW, but they didn't need it. They've already found the picks, and they're continuing to hold on. Things are not what they need to be for Shikigami right now.
I mean, Solo has not had any chance to let loose with this self-destruct. I think it's going to take Vintage getting a pin on the Dust to take them away, but you're looking at the three forms of CC here. You're looking at an answering charge, you're looking at everything, and the Shatter comes out for Dust.
The Shatter does come out, connects to Worst OW player, but they've already lost Ross before they can really invest in this fight. Besides that Shatter, Solo is going to have to use the self-destruct to try to stay alive, get back into the mech. Faded, it's all on their backs here. They've got the, almost got the Graviton Surge, but it needs to be perfect.
I mean, I want to see Dayfly not be aggressive with this grab. I want them to grab second. I don't get my wish.
Yeah, needed to do that. As Spiro's gonna come in, the Shatter comes in through as well. The grab is there from Faded. They've got to find a pick onto someone, as they've got to get this fight win. It's down to 30 seconds, but they've lost Ross yet again. This is disastrous, as this might be a 0 meter hold coming in from Canadian team.
3.92 meters is the progress that they have gotten. So it is not going to be a 0 meter, but it is going to be damn near close to that. And another grab, almost ready for Dayfly. You've got the self-destruct online as well.
Yeah, and they're almost taking Ross out of this fight. This is not what needs to happen. They've got the grab out. This is all but over. The Shatter knocks them all down.
That's it.
That's it for this attacking phase. The overtime bar ticking away. They get the last second touch, but it's all for naught, as that is that, as Canadian team with the picture perfect spawn hold have set themselves up to get to the next round of the GOATS tournament.
Wow. Wow. Okay, so I asked for bold. I got extra bold and spicy there. And what the fudge? Okay, one of my dogs just fell off the couch. But yeah, they're dumb. So anyways, I mean, you've got to be just as bold here. If you're Shikigami, your tournament life is on the line here. And it all really is going to come down to Faded versus Dayfly. This is the only matchup that matters now. Because we saw Mikan, they did get a environmental kill across the bridge when we saw somebody try to track him down, but it didn't matter because the sustain was still there between Maester and Bolting Cake. So, I mean, this is going to be very difficult for both these two teams to get out of spawn. More importantly, how to break this hold. And I mean, they're holding back. You can't hold back. You've got to be up in their face.
There's no possible way. Good for them, though. They've got a chance to win here, Billy. It might be almost improbable, but there is a chance for a hold, a fuller hold from this, but we will wait and see. They've got to be more perfect than a Canadian team was. And there it's going to start out. They're going to look for these holds. They're looking for the pick, and they're already going to come in, but Dust goes down, but Ross follows quickly afterwards. So it's still anyone's point, but if Bochy can land this boop onto someone, anyone, but Mikan's the one to go down. The boop coming in. The respawns will be coming back from Canadian team. I think you're right. I think that's it. They've got so much damage onto the front line of Shikigami. The cart is there, the red carpet, as they send themselves to the next round of the CGL GOATS Tournament.
Wow. I mean, just perfect. An opening pick from Bochy, gets it working, and then on the back of that, just so good from them. I mean, Dust had so much fun there. The close quarter shatter, everything else happened in the middle of it. Yeah, Dust deserves the POTG there. And I mean, Canadian team with a shocker over Shikigami. I mean, this is what GOATS is all about. So, I mean, this is what we wanted to see. Anybody can win in GOATS. It just depends on, if your order of operations works perfectly or not. And we saw the boldness come out from this Canadian team. They took care of business on the day and send Shikigami packing.
Yeah, that was just some great stuff coming in for Canadian team there. They've I believe upset the top seed, if I'm not mistaken. And now they've booked their ticket to, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, yeah. So we do have some results coming in already, and I will let you know what they are here and now before we head to a little break. So, actually, Made You Look took down Captain Light and his merry crew in a 2-0. 8D took down Volume 0, so that's going to be the matchup in the next round. Afterglow took a 2-0 over Revenge of Potato. Dark Mode over Star Railers, 2-0. Prospect New Age, again, taking it up. And Hive Mind is going to be the team that Canadian Train will be playing after this match up in a short little while. But do not go anywhere. We're going to have some more Overwatch action. I believe we're going to be casting Afterglow versus the winner of Moving Griff 7 and Dylan's Intelligence Creates Knowledge. So do not go anywhere. You're not going to want to miss more GOATS action right after this.
you get an insight and you know something, but you don't want to say it out loud because you're kind of afraid that it's not going to be really true and it'll spoil the whole thing for you. But when somebody makes you say it, then, and it's true, then it just makes it more beautiful of a thing.
Welcome back, everyone. It is time for the round 2 matchup of the CGL GOATS Tournament, day number 2. We've got another great series for you here, Billy. We've got Moving Rift 7 versus Afterglow.
I mean, just the two rosters alone gives me joy. Having seen some of them in Contenders, having seen some of them in Calling All Heroes, and, you know, looking at just the entire scene as a whole, World Cup trials as well for Astronex, a former CGL player before they made the move to the PC realm and coming back home here. Always glad to see Astronex. Surprised they weren't part of the Canadian team, but now I see why they weren't. This tank line for Moving Rift 7 is going to be dirty. In the extreme, especially with Chime. I assume that Chime is going to be the Zarya player. Good lord. This is going to be scary. I mean, Yamitra, a Northwood University support player, fantastic in their own right. Please make sure that the cat does not chew through the cord, or they don't have a fire at the dorm room. Hopefully Yamitra doesn't have that problem again. We had that problem a few months back. And well, we'll see if that happens again. But I mean, they've got SK on their team as well, somebody that I've been watching as a streamer for quite some time. Absolutely thrilled to see them here. And then Afterglow. Here's where the Calling All Heroes initiative members come through, and Avery and Mary. And this one's going to be just as dirty. Avery, they are one of the premier tanks in the tier 2 scene. Full stop, full send. Don't care what anybody says because it's my own opinion. If you don't like it, you know where you can go. I like Avery as a tank player, and I think that they're going to really prop up this Afterglow team. So we'll see what Saint and Mary have to say on the back of it.
So Avery built kind of like a tank. I've met them in person before. They're huge. I mean, they were like at least 6'6", 6'5". I mean, hey. But yeah, like just like you, Billy. But yeah, I mean, hey, that's just some knowledge off the side. But we have our first map here to start things off. We aren't going to Busan like we once saw on their previous round. We're headed to Lijiang Tower here.
Oh boy. I mean, this is also kind of one of those core Overwatch memories for me. Lijiang Tower and GOATS. So, I mean, Control Center is probably the best suited for GOATS, to be quite fair. But also, Gardens on the point itself is also a dirty place for this GOATS composition. So we'll see. I want to see what these teams bring out. I mean, it's harkening back to the days of old, and we get to see 6v6, which is, I still love 6v6. I don't care what anybody says. I miss Double Shield because I like playing Orisa, but we will talk about that very much more here as we head into our map here. Moving Rift 7 versus Afterglow. It's going to be the tank. I think it's going to be a tank battle across the board, Joshua. Even though I think Saint is going to be having a lot to say, and SK will have a lot to say as well as far as keeping their teams up. And of course, we want to see, you know, proper GOATS mathematics here for this, the order of operations, the map trigonometry, and when to engage in their fights. So let's go ahead and get into this map of Lijiang Tower, because, I mean, that's all over but the crying now.
Boy, if that logo was real, I would not want to swim in the ocean, and is what they keep spamming in the chat.
I didn't look at it. I do not have the stream open.
Look at the logo is a dinosaur head on a seahorse. For Afterglow here, and so boy, if this was real, I would not be swimming in the ocean.
Wow. My feed has actually frozen on my end.
Mine has too.
So we're gonna wait here for just a second.
But well, we're loading in. I mean, we're just waiting to see. I mean, well, if this corrects itself, or we're gonna have to do something drastically to change this.
I mean, we can look at the other one. I mean, we've got a fish with Well, a very nice set of upper teeth.
Yeah, so it looks like OBS looks to have crashed here, so we're gonna head to a short little break to get them back into the lobby. Do not go anywhere. You're not gonna want to miss when we get back into the action. As now we're headed back into the game as, well, we did miss a little bit, but it looks like not too much here as now we are headed into the round as it is tied are back into the favor of Moving Rift 7.
I mean, Moving's team did give up 20% of the point there, but a lot of key ultimates came out from Afterglow, and now they're in a much better position to be able to take this point, hold this point. I mean, I'm really looking for the combo coming up from Shine and Moving Fish. We're going to see how disgusting this is going to be early. Self-destruct down.
Ice Blade coming in, the bash on point coming in from Yimitra to take out Key's shield, and that is going to be that holding on yet again. It's Moving Rift 7.
I mean, now we're going to see, though, the balance of power potentially shift here, even though I say that. Graviton Surge and the Rally going to be available to Moving Rift. into this next fight. Avery does have self-destruct, but Maori right now needs to get their charge up, needs to get this Graviton Surge up, rotation coming through small room over here, and they're just catching all the aggression. They've baked them out, and now they're moving in on top of this Astro. Astro being saved by that grab.
Here comes the Graviton Surge and the swinging for the fences. The damage coming in from the Reinhardt Hammer and the Shatter coming out, connecting to almost everyone. And that's going to be that yet again. Moving Rift 7. Hold on yet again.
Canadian diff right there. Astronex just laid him out like a bunch of sardines, and the follow-up was absolutely there. Now Wombo combo ready to go here for Afterglow. Let's see if Mary can land this Graviton Surge and get the self-destruct off.
Gotta get something here quickly, as now there's the Graviton Surge coming in. They've got to get them away from the rest of their squad, but there's nothing coming in. Now things come through. They've got the Shatter, but it's still not enough. Avery does take down Astro. The self-destruct coming in. Avery with 2, and that is going to be crucial for Afterglow as they get the point back into the favor.
I mean, that was a very impactful fight there for Moving Rift. I mean, goodness. Afterglow came in with a fury there. They do have Shatter and Self-Destruct online, but the fact that they weathered all that, Afterglow have the advantage in as far as the Transcendence right now. This is going to be a hard fight, and Ymitra's going ham.
Yeah, Ymitra already taken down Key. Now the self-destruct had free range. The the Shatter coming in from Astronex, but not going to connect to anyone. But it doesn't matter. They've got everything they need. They've got the point back to their favor, and they've got Avery in DMX as well off the side of the map. That's going to be that. Round 1 goes to Moving Rift 7.
Yeah, we apologize for the little bit of technical difficulty here. This new game mode here is very taxing on our observers' computers, so every once in a while we might have a little bit of an issue. But it looks like we got all the gremlins out here. So 1-0 lead here in the subsets on Legion Garden. Moving Wreck going to be in the lead here. So for Afterglow, Gardens, I think might be a better opportunity for them. They didn't like the close quarter brawl as much as Astronex is. I mean, if we talk about Astro, I mean, Joker, I have been casting them for some time. And I mean, now they're in the PC realm, competing at the highest levels there. I remember Astronex in Tier 5 and Tier 6 here in CGL. Yeah, and has not lost a step. As even scarier now that they're playing on PC.
Yeah, definitely. I have to agree with you there. They are just that beast. Well, when we are gonna light them up, the caster curse is real. They go down early on, as it looks like Afterglow are gonna start things off with point control.
I mean, I was gonna say Canadian dip, but I'm gonna hold that one for a little bit later. As I cast a curse. It's all my fault. I will own that one all day long. And just look at the amount of charge here for all the members of Afterglow. Definitely feeling the basking warmth of that Afterglow now after the first fight.
Yeah, definitely. Now they gotta come into this fight here. They've got some nice charge in from Chime, already up to 100%. And that focusing beam is just so dirty from Chime. Gonna take Benevolence out. The charge coming in as well. This should be yet again enough for the side of Moving Rift 7 to come back in. Astronex just swinging for the fences, taking everyone out. They almost get the charge kill, but it's going to be SK getting that last pick as it goes back to Moving Rift 7.
So the big thing is that you've got the Wombo combo coming up here for Afterglow, but you've got Shatter and Self-Destruct as well as all of your supporters. So this should be a very sturdy fight for Moving Rift. But I think that Afterglow, if they can catch them out with maybe a sneaky Shadow or a sneaky pin, and then go in behind that, they might have a chance to flip this point.
I definitely have to agree with you here, but they do have to contest with a boatload of ultimates from Moving Rift 7 as they're going to come in here. The Shatter comes out, the self-destruct there as well, but Astronex is off the side of the map, no longer having this Reinhardt available, but so is Key. Key is in no man's land, but the peel is there, keeping them up and healthy, as it now should be Afterglow's point to take back, as SK is just all alone. No support for them as they now flip the point back, only losing a percentage, now taking back the lead on that as Afterglow are holding strong.
I mean, like I said, it was going to take something different than just straight up in your face play. And Key with the key charge, taking Astronex off the side, opened up the entire fight for them. Now they've got Shatter. Didn't even have to use that to retake the point.
Yeah, they did not, as no, they have the Shatter to be lined up, and maybe Astronex is not expecting it, but with the tank of their quality, they are always expecting the unexpected, as now they are going to take this fight out. Chime still just with nice charge, and the Shatter does get blocked up by there. Now they have this advantage. They have this Graviton Surge available. They just need to keep it out of the clutches of Avery, and they do. They get it onto the column in the middle and take Key out of this fight. The Shatter lines them all up. The follow-up is there, as that is going to be that, and in all the midst of that, Moving Fish taking away Mary's own Graviton Surge and getting the point back soon enough. It is going to get over to 99%, however, for Afterglow.
SK having fun on the side there. And well, you see the ultimate Kami completely flipped there in this fight. Now, they do get it to 99 here for Afterglow, so 2 fights at least before we get to final fight territory. And Avery has been sneaky with these self-destructs, so that's something that they need to be very cognizant of as they head into this next fight.
And they have been also getting that nice the teamwork from either Key or Benevolence on the Brigida, that those shield bashes are the crucial time, can be as good as a what's the Shatter comes out from the column around. That's gonna be that. Can't even talk about the Shatter from Key, because well, Astronex is the one who lays them all down, and this is looking a lot better here now for Moving Rift 7.
Grav benefit and lead here for Mari, and you're going to have almost all 3 of your support elements going into this fight. So Moving Fish and Abyss have to be completely perfect here. Last fight going to happen right now.
Yeah, as now we have to come in here. They've got this opportunity. Who is going to take the fight? The self-destruct already coming in from Moving Fish, and Moving Fish takes down Benevolence and Key. The Graviton Surge is there, but all the damage dealers are gone for the side of Afterglow. This is all over. The round is just, they just got to take down the remaining stragglers of Afterglow as the overtime bar ticks away. That is that. Moving Rift 7 take map number 1.
I mean, that fight was actually in Afterglow's favor, and the self-destruct from Moving Fish completely negates everything. So perfectly placed, and yes, Avery had the better of the self-destructs, but the most impactful one belongs to Moving Fish, the Redbirds player. Got it done when it countered the most, and well, this is exactly what we wanted to see from them. So now 1-0 lead here for Moving Rift 7. They're on match point now. Afterglow looks like they're going to have the map pick here, Joshua. But I mean, the fights have been brutal, and I gotta say, SK, the timing of sound barriers has been absolutely exquisite, and I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there. As we also are going to be getting a swapping of sides, but first, let's talk about the map. We are headed back to Kings Row for our map number 2, but like I said, we are going to get a swapping of sides. It looks like Moving Rift 7 want to attack first here.
Yeah, and they want the attack, and I mean, Bullskunk and I have a lot to say about this. I think that defending first is the way to go to give yourself a benchmark. He likes the attacking, and we, of course, can both see merits of both sides. I mean, Astro wants to send a message here. He was filling his oats there. Canadian Pride on the line, and the Shatter was just chef's kiss beautiful. I mean, I love love the shatters. I love the placement and the timing, the sneakiness of it. Definitely playing a lot of mind games there with Key. And, the rotation was just perfect as well. So, yeah, we're going to see how Afterglow deal with that aggression coming in, because it is a little bit more open, both Night Market and Gardens on Lijiang both have a lot more room to maneuver in. You have the ability to rotate around, and we'll see how Key and company deal with it here as far as catching the rotations early and making sure that you can keep your Reinhardt up, because once you lose the Reinhardt, 9 times out of 10, you're going to lose the fight.
With GOATs being so tank-centric, they've got to you've got to keep your main tank alive. And I love that I can say main tank again, because, well, we're back into 6v6, so we have those the variations of tank players, not just one tank player anymore, Billy.
Truth. And I mean, I miss 6v6 just for this reason. The fact that you do have tank synergy. And GOATs, of course, it gives us the best of the world with 3 tanks, right? I mean, if you're a tank aficionado like I am, this is why I like it, but the fights can be so protracted with 2 GOATs heavy teams. And I mean, we're out of practice of the meta now. If you remember back in the day, fights would take forever to finish.
It was also an art form, pretty much.
Yes.
You had to perfect it, or you were just dominated by the other teams that had perfected it. We saw that in the Overwatch League with the Vancouver Titans and the San Francisco Shock. But we are going to hit this fight on the statue already, as Astronex is super low, but Abyss is going to be the one to find the first pick. They do take Saint out, but they have lost that tank player. That main tank is no longer there. So now they're going to have to, no, maybe not. They find the kick on the Key, and now Benevolence is going to be caught on that little archway there. So now this is all they need, as they've already built up to an ultimate. Chime coming in, taking down Mary early on, as Mary also on to the also on close to getting their Graviton Surge here, but Astronex is going to find 2 late there.
I mean, that was just aggression personified. And the fact that Chime got that early Graviton Surge, nothing but right clicks unless they were confirming a kill. And that's what you want to see. Oh, that's an early coming out from Mary.
Yeah, as they're going to come out early on. Like I said, they had that Graviton Surge early on, and now the rally coming out as well. The Shatter, no connecting as they do come through, but no picks coming in yet. As they come in, another Shatter lining them up. I love it when it puts it into perspective. These picture-perfect plays coming in yet again, as that is going to be Afterglow taking this fight.
I mean, it's just like the Matrix.
Yeah.
I love it. I seriously wish that this would be like an all-time thing. And, well, they're pulling their best LH Cloudy impression here by licking the spawn doors and getting themselves out. Somebody's on the cart. The cart's moving, and they're just standing here waiting. Benevolence finally realizes. They know now.
Puppy laughing, don't know, chat, as now they have to go away. Mary and Benevolence do find 2, but again, they had to divert their attention back to the cart, so it's going to allow Moving Rift 7 to get out and get some more cart progress.
You'll get the regroup here coming from Afterglow. And Chime does not have Graviton Surge on here, so you can actually get aggressive. You know that it just came out, trying to do a little bit of a spawn holding there. And, well, we'll see how this is going to work. In the interim, the self-destruct is out.
As now they're going to come in here, taking down 2 already. The Transcendence there to keep everyone up and healthy, as they are going to take them out yet again. This is looking like pure dominance for Moving Rift 7.
This is scary. Okay, this is a little bit of bullying, a little bit of ego coming through. Chime is just glowing once again, still has the overarmor coming through, but I mean, I want to see what the Chime can get done here. They're going to have another grab ready to go, and I mean, they've got the Wombo combo all lined up and set and ready to go.
They do indeed, as the Shatter does come out. Key is so low, but as the Transcendence could not find anyone, and it's not going to find any more healing because, well, SK's taking them off the side of the map, as this is just looking disastrous right now here for Afterglow as they come in with all the picks they need.
So says he got put in the contraption, and I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Having fun here in this Ghost composition, and I mean, well, Raid Boss incoming.
Yeah, Raid Boss incoming indeed. Boy, they come in here already, as that is going to be a lot of ultimates coming on the board. There's the Graviton Surge coming out, connecting them now, but Demetra is going to be the one to go down first, as it looks like finally Afterglow have found the footing that they needed, finding all the picks, forcing back moving Rift 7.
I mean, great stand there, and they needed it, as we're just sub 4 minutes here for these two teams. And Moving Fish does have their self-destruct. They did not let it out with the Graviton Surge earlier. They just lost too much. But I think that, you know, they're going to play a little war of attrition here. They're going to try and pull out what they can. Once that comes out, the Abyss Transcendence will come through, and now it's all about how they get on the back of this.
There's the perfect synergy coming in from Moving Rift 7. The charge taking Key away, and that's going to be that yet again, taking them out, as that should be that for this fight, as it's looking very good, as Astronex now in the spawn of Afterglow.
I mean, just showing him the backside, that's ultimate disrespect. Ultimate disrespect coming through, and Tribe's going to have a Graviton Surge in to clean up this fight.
As now they come in, there's the Shatter in from Astronex, laying down a couple, as SK looking for the boop off the side of the map with the Graviton Surges coming out. They're so low. Key is going to be taken down in the end. The Matrix mode coming through. Astronex falls quickly afterwards. It's still highly contested. The rally's on point. The anti-crash slow mode coming in. The self-destructs come through. Not going to find anyone just yet, as they're still trading around. But it looks like the side of Afterglow have this upper hand. They've got the respawn advantage, and they are forcing back Moving Rift 7.
I mean, they've now taken 2 fights and 2 fight wins. That's exactly what they needed, and SK going down is going to be even more time wasting here. So the next fight should take place at about the 145 mark once we get everybody up. Well, I say that, Moving Rift says I'm going to go ahead and self-destruct and takes Mary down.
Mary's gonna go down early on. The Graviton Surge was there though, and they get Demetra out of this fight. That's a lot of damage, a lot of healing now gone after this, as well as the Transcendence comes through. They almost took Avery off the side of the map, but the Diva boosters were there, but they're no longer there for them this time, as Eski gets the kill, confirming it. And finally, as now they've got this rally on the board from Benevolence. It still looks like, though, that Afterglow have this upper hand, but there's the Graviton Surge. The Shatter coming out, not gonna kill anyone just yet. Demetra does go down yet again. It's still trading all around. They still got able to find the upper hand in this fight, but they do have more time on the clock. The Shatter under the cart, not going to connect to anyone. The Sound Barrier coming through. The Transcendence as well, trying to get this damage, trying to eclipse this, but it's still not enough. Key has stayed alive. It looks like they still have more time on the board, but still, ultimates being used. Everything going through, and Moving Fish finds 2 with the self-destruct, but Avery comes back in clutch with a 3-piece of their own. Oh my goodness, the Divas putting on a show for us today.
Oh, I miss, okay. I miss double tanks. I miss, I dare I say, I miss triple tanks. And this is why. This is why this is so much needed in our beloved game. 5v5 is fun. It's faster. Fights end quicker. Yes, I understand that. But you miss the wombo combos of tanks being able to talk together and get this stuff done. Good Lord, miss it.
Yes, now they're going to come in here. Chime's going to use their ultimate here. The Graviton Surge going to come through. They're going to follow up. There's a lot of damage coming out, but can they get the follow-up? No, Astronex is down. They only find Saint thanks to that Graviton Surge as there's 10 seconds to go. This is not looking good for removing Rift 7. They've got to figure this out as they've got coming in. There's the Transcendence coming through. They've got enough. They've got to stay alive. They're getting people back on the point, but Mary has this Graviton Surge. They've got to weather the storm. They've got the Sound Barrier from Eski to keep them up and healthy. The self-destruct coming through. Key is no longer there. This is the perfect opportunity. The self-destruct finds two. Can they find one in response? No, they do not. It's still all moving Rift 7, and they might be able to capture all 3 points here, Billy.
They did it. I mean, on the back of Moving Fish and another self-destruct lob, like the best in tennis. That was an overhead lob that just could not be returned, and they got it done. But boy, oh boy, 4 minutes plus entering the Foundry, and I said it before, and I'm gonna say it again. This Afterglow team wants to be in your face. They want the up close fight. They don't want to worry about all the different ways that you can come at you. They want you to come at them head on, and that's exactly what happened. So we'll take a look and see what moving Rift 7 are going to do defensively. Do we have any kind of compromises here as far as the composition? Will we see that come through? I don't think that we should. With Mitra and SK really doing the lion's share of the healing, that Inspire time, I would love to know the results on how much Yamitra is getting done. The Northwood University star getting it done. And well, Key and company, they are really going to be looking to get an early amount of pressure, get early kills, get early ult charge up, and do exactly to moving Rift 7 what they did to them.
I'm out of breath from that last fight. But that, oh my goodness, I'm so good. I kind of wish the camera was on me whenever we've seen these self-destructs coming in, because I've just been jumping for joy every time I see it. It's just been incredible. I'm excited for this next round coming in. I'm excited for more amazing plays coming in as they're going to take this fight yet again at the tower, at the statue here. As Key is taking Astronex into that small little room, but well, they're just going to get blown up in their face, taking them back here now as SK is looking to hoop them back into the shark's teeth and the fish's teeth of moving Rift 7. But they've gotten the picks. They forced them back for the time being.
I mean, the fact that we saw Avery go to high ground to try and split the attention denies the mitigation of the defense matrix for Key, and that's why Key gets burned down so quickly. And once Key is gone, the finishing was there. Now, it was a great disengage coming out from them, so Mary gets to keep their charge, but that's an early grab.
How did the grab come through? First of all, they get it through, and they've taken Benevolence out, but it looked like it was just going into the waiting of this defense matrix of Avery for the moment, but they got it in the end and winning that fight off the back of it.
I mean, we're going to look for Saint Six right now. The Transcendence, it's going to have to be very well measured, especially with Shatter online.
Yeah, definitely. Now they're going to come in here. There's going to be the Shatter coming out. They do connect to two. Mary stays up thanks to their own defensive bubble as the self-destruct coming out in response. Keys found Yamitra. They've got the self-destruct, and the Shatter comes through. Not going to connect to anyone as the Transcendence at the perfect timing for Abyss to keep everyone up and healthy. Now Mary is gone. They've got to stay alive, and they do. They find the picks off the back of Chime's Graviton Surge to hold on to this point forevermore, but they do lose Astronex in the meanwhile.
I mean, we're looking right now for a bit of a regroup here. You've got a couple of seconds difference between Astronex getting back into the fight, and yeah, they're chasing SK for dear life. The Discord Orb is on it. They don't find it.
Avery.
They take Avery, yeah. Avery out of the fight. That's a huge blow as we're at the 145 now. Maybe 3 fights left here, Joshua. Ultimate's coming up online for moving Rift 7. Yeah. I need to see Saints get this Transcendence up. That's going to be their saving grace.
Yeah, Shen is very close. Another couple of headshots could be what they need. The self-destruct is going to come out from Moving Fish, but they've already taken Astronex gone. It's looking a little bit better here for Afterglow. They've taken down 2, and the Graviton Eat from Avery is going to be the nail in the coffin for this defense, it seems, unless there's a miraculous play. But no, it looks like Moving Rift 7 are just going to back up and take the fight in the streets.
Yeah, they're gonna try and hold either Bookstore or Archway as best they can. Key is coming up close on one of their key ultimates, and we'll see what they get here. I mean, Key is getting super aggressive. They force the Transcendence out early.
That's huge. The self-destruct's gonna come out in response to Shatters. Key's so low. The Bubble is gonna save them for the time being, but well, they can't deal with all the damage onto them as they now come back in. Mary and Key are gone. Shen follows quickly afterwards, as this is now where they want to hold for Moving Rift 7.
Everybody needs to get a gold star here. And here comes Astro. Yep. This is exactly what they want. They want to hold at these doors, and they're going to force rotations from this Afterglow squad. I mean, just working on the shield. It just says, nope, nope.
As the shadow comes out, connects him up up the stairs. Key lines him up and knocks him down, takes them back, and that's all they need to get this part back into their favor.
Oh, man. Fantastic shatter from Key there. That's probably the best shatter of the day so far, Joshua, as they were not expecting it going up the stairs. And they get the full value out of it. You need to push farther. You need to push farther right now. You don't have time to be standing back here and waiting. You need to get at least around the second corner from Bookstore, and they're not going to do it.
Yeah, they're not. They're going to get back here, and they've got almost this, the Graviton Surge available. It's going to come out early on from Mary, but there's not going to be able to be the follow-up now. There's the self-destruct. The Transcendence going to come out. Can they find the picks? They're gonna be able to get Key out of this fight. That is huge. That's a great pick coming in from the Yellows Investments, coming in from Moving Rift 7. And now they've got the Shatter available if needed, but that's not going to be necessary. The charge is all they need from Astronex, as now they've got the stall coming out on point, but in the end, it is Moving Rift 7 taking back the cart.
Lack of aggression from Afterglow is what happened there. And they're back here in spawn. They're ready to go. They're waiting to get Chime back up with another self or another Graviton Surge, and they're going to have SK Sound Barrier to keep them in this next coming fight.
They take Benevolence out. They do line them up yet again up the side of the stairs. They've already lost to Brigida, and now they're losing more. They do take down Abyss, so that's going to buy them a little bit of space. They're going to have to rotate out, and they're going to have to rotate back because Avery is trying to force this objective, but they're going to lose the duel to SK on the point. No way! SK coming in clutch with the help of the defense matrix from Moving Fish 7 to hold on to this point. 45 seconds to go.
Self-destruct available to Moving Fish in this next fight. That's an early grab coming out. It just locks up Mary, and Mary goes down in a heap.
That is huge. They did not want to give the opportunity for Mary to buy up to their own Graviton Surge, and finding Shen as well. 30 seconds to go here, Billy.
This should be one more fight, and I think that with Rally, Transcendence, and Self-Destruct, this should be very easily holdable for this Moving Rift 7 squad. Now, I mean, Avery and Mary might be able to get this ultimate combo up.
Yeah, they're going to come in here. The self-destruct comes through. Key's already out of this fight. This should all be over. Moving Fish and Astronex combining for all the picks they need, as this is going to be it. And that is it. The overtime bar ticks away. Nope, Saint's going to get the touch. The overtime bar now going to be ticking away, looking to finish things out, as that is that. Moving Rift 7 take the map and the series.
Oh. Mary, they're saying GG Zarya diff. Oh, Mary, you actually had a really good Zarya map. I can't fault you really for much yet, so we'll see. Astronex, I don't know if you're top 4 yet, but you probably are, and we'll probably be seeing it tomorrow. But for this match, I mean, Benevolence just went absolutely ham and had one of the matches, one of the Brigida plays of the match. So fantastic from them. Yeah, Moving Rift going to move on. I do believe they do get top 4 here at least. So, you know, we'll be seeing our CGL alum Astronex continuing on here in our CGL GOATS tournament. Got to say goodbye to Afterglow. Just too much in the tank from Moving Rift 7. I mean, Astronex and Moving Fish, 2 contenders, tanks players. That is just a upward hill to climb that nobody wants to face.
We are going to see who are going to be facing them after this. They are going to be our next streamed match. We are going to be seeing them play against Meiju Look. We'll talk about Meiju Look right after this short little break. Do not go anywhere. More GOATS action after this.
Malin. I'm not crazy, Malin. I've just been in a very bad mood for 40 years. 40 years.
Carpe diem. Carpe diem.
Our inside here, you get an insight and you know something, but you don't want to say it out loud because you're kind of afraid that it's not going to be really true and it'll spoil the whole thing for you. But when somebody makes you say it, then, and it's true, then it just makes it more beautiful of